not interested in bonds.
Good.
Putting it all together.
You know,
We
it's
good?
that thing where it was a collaboration with all
Excellent.
8 candidates. That's a lot.
Oh, and this too.
And I called him up, he wouldn't answer. Oh, and then he met, what? Oh,
All right, it's gavel time. I'd like to call to order tonight, which is October 8th, 2024, for the City of Dayton Council meeting. Roll call, please, Ms. Klein.
Member Wyrick, Member Lovins, Member Volter,
Here.
Member Neary,
Here.
Member Neiman,
here.
Member Kelly,
Here.
City Administrator Fawcett,
Here.
City Attorney Edmondson,
Here.
Mayor Baker.
Here. Member Wyrick did text us and say that he's running a tad bit late, so we'll welcome him when he gets here. Next, we will rise for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. While we're doing that, if you could please remember Ron Gunning. Ron Gunning and his wife both passed away in the last week or so. Ron was a great Dayton resident, lifelong Dayton resident. He served on many different boards and as mayor. So our hearts are out to the family as they mourn.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. On the mayor's report, not much to report this month, but I will say that we just had a pretty exciting event. Governor Andy Beshear just visited Dayton. He was over at Roping Point's Books and Coffee. And I think in our general recollection, that's the first governor to visit Dayton in a very, very long time. So thank you very much, Governor Beshear, for visiting us, and you're always welcome. Come back often. Now we have the pleasure of swearing in the new police officer. We're going to swear in Janine Nacero. Janine, if you would please repeat after me. Right hand raised. I, Janine Nacero,
I, Janine Nacero,
swear or affirm that I will faithfully perform
swear or affirm that I will faithfully perform
the duties of the office of police officer
the duties of the office of police officer
of a fourth-class city,
of a fourth-class city,
that I possess the required qualifications,
that I possess the required qualifications,
and that I shall not interfere with any election,
that I shall not interfere with any election.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Janine's got 2 years of experience. She comes to us from Airport Police. She's hit the ground running and has done a very, very good job. So we're very proud of her and welcome to the team. And today's her birthday. So happy birthday. So she will be leaving after this to go enjoy herself with her daughter and enjoy her birthday.
Happy birthday.
Have a good day.
Next on the docket, we have the approval of minutes from September 10th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Member Neary's made the motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Volter. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Abstentions? Moving right along. We now like to open up the podium for comments regarding legislative items on tonight's agenda. So if you have anything you want to speak about on tonight's agenda, the podium is yours. All right, we're going to go ahead and close up. See a couple candidates out in the audience. We always love to see candidates at our council meetings. Shows involvement in our city government. And it's not on the agenda, but I'll go ahead and veer just a little bit. If you'd like to, you're welcome to use the podium if you'd like to come up and say your name and what you're running for, and yeah, just say hi. You're very welcome.
Terry Hatton, grew up in Dayton, Kentucky, live in Bellevue. I've been in Campbell County for over 55 years. Served in the Army for 5 years. Got 4 daughters, 7 grandkids. Been very involved in the Bellevue Vets for the past 25 years. I've chaired their youth program. Ran point with a lot of help and support from the community on the turf field. One of the proud accomplishments down there, and a lot of other things that we've done at the Vets throughout the region and the community. Small business owner for over 30 years, and very involved in our church. Treasurer for Knights of Columbus. Serve on several nonprofit boards. Presently, one of the boards a little overly active with presently is Cincinnati Health Network. They're located in Over the Rhine. I'm on their board, and I'll say one of the things that I try to accomplish is work with the homeless vets to get them in for dental. Some of them have access to health care, but the dental, and recently they've opened a pharmacy. So we help them fill prescriptions through that location. And, that's just, I love Campbell County. And that's why I signed up and stepped up and running for District 67. And any questions, if you want to have coffee or if you want to get together, and I welcome that too. So thank you.
Thank you for your service in the Army, sir, and best of luck to you, sir.
Wasn't nothing into the Veterans Hall of Fame.
No, congrats.
Where my volunteering into the
Congrats on that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll echo that. Thank you for your service. My name is Aaron Judd, reside at 410 6th Avenue, and I am running for Dayton City Council. I've been to about half the meetings so far this year, trying to take it all in and learn as much as I can. Been to as many different board meetings as I've had, been able to go to the committee meetings that they hold over here. So just trying to take it all in. I'm welcome to hear any and all thoughts on what I can do to better my chances of running and winning, and as well as what I can do to serve this city better. So my slogan is about efficient, people-focused progress. So I'm going to keep that short and sweet and wrap it up right there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and best of luck to you. I don't see any other candidates out there, so we'll go ahead and close that little ad lib portion of the agenda. Next up is the ordinances. First on the docket is second reading of ordinance 20244-15. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance providing for the imposition, levy, collection, and apportionment of taxes for the city of Dayton, Campbell County, Kentucky for the fiscal year July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
That is a second reading, so we're going to have to ask for a motion to approve.
I will gladly make that motion to approve 2024-15.
Member Neary gladly makes that motion. Do I have a second to maybe gladly?
I'll second.
Second by Member Neiman.
Did you approve the minutes?
Excuse me?
Did you approve the minutes?
Yeah, we
You
did.
did, oh, sorry.
No problem. So we have a motion, we have a second, which opens it up for comments. Would anybody have any comments from council?
That is a 20% reduction from 10 years ago.
Yep.
First time we've been under 4% for 15 years, I believe it is. And it's mostly because of the increased property values in Dayton.
Excellent. It's, we're lucky and proud to be able to offer it. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Member Kelly.
Aye.
Member Volter.
Aye.
Member Neary.
Aye.
Member Neiman.
The ayes have it. Lower taxes. This is great. Exactly. Next up, second reading of ordinance 2024-16. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance amending the text of the City of Dayton, Kentucky zoning ordinance to repeal old subdivision regulations and update the zoning ordinance with new subdivision regulations.
Do I have a motion to approve second reading of ordinance 2024-16?
I'll make the motion.
Ladies first. Christina Kelly has got the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Volter. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Did we go over this on the first reading so people will
Yeah, we
understand?
did, but
Okay.
my reference, we are subdivision regulations of people, and there were some issues we've had developing a subdivision in the past that we wanted to address, which was water being directed away from city streets. And so these subdivision regulations are consistent with what Kenton County passed probably 3 or 4 years ago. And they upgraded all their regulations to require more drainage and other issues that will protect the city's investments in these streets. Because once these streets are done and built by subdivision developers, we are responsible for them after that point. They're dedicated to the city. So we're trying to protect the city like this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Member Neiman. Any other questions, comments, concerns regarding? All right, we have a motion. We have a second. Roll call, please.
Member Neiman.
Aye.
Member Kelly.
Aye.
Member Volter.
Aye.
Member Neary.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Next up is the second reading of ordinance 2024-17. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance establishing a non-exclusive franchise for the use of the public streets, alleys, and other public grounds of the city cable television systems, internet, or telephone services within the city, and providing the terms thereof.
So by way of action, these two ordinances together, the next one too, 18, are all both franchise ordinances. So under Kentucky's Constitution, we have to grant franchises to companies such as Charter Communications, which is the cable company, and Alta Fiber to use our city streets. So same thing with the next one, which is for gas and electric. That's Duke. So those franchises only have a certain time period. After 15 years, they expire, so we have to renew it. It's a two-step process. The first is we need to pass an ordinance to advertise for these franchises. They're non-exclusive. Many people can apply, but the reality is that Duke is the only one going to be providing gas and electric here, and you will be cable. There's no competition with cable because they have Alta Fiber and Charter. So but they have to enter into agreements with the city and to use our streets and sidewalks for their wires and poles and underground if they have that. So that's what this is all about. So this just allows us to advertise for those, and then we'll come back after they bid on it and negotiate a franchise agreement with them, and then we'll come back for another ordinance approving that agreement.
Thank you for the clarification and explanation of the ordinance, sir.
So the franchise agreement that we're currently under is how old?
Expired, so it's at least 15 years, not the max. Actually, 20 years is the max. So it's expired, and with gas and electric, it has, but the other one is expired.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Well, I guess we'll get to that section in a minute. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 2024-17?
I'll make that motion.
Member Neiman's made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry? All right. And second by Member Kelly. Now, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns regarding this ordinance? All right, fantastic. Roll call, please.
Member Neary.
Aye.
Member Neiman.
Aye.
Member Kelly.
Aye.
Member Volter.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Which moves us right along to the next ordinance, which is the second reading of ordinance 2024-18.
An ordinance of the Board of Council of the City of Dayton, Kentucky, providing for the creating of a franchise for the distribution of electrical and natural gas energy within the City of Dayton, Kentucky, defining the terms and conditions thereof, and providing for a bid procedure therefore, and alternatively, providing for the payment of minimum franchise fee for all public utilities doing business in the City of Dayton, Kentucky, not now covered by a current franchise.
Thank you, Ms. Klein.
thank you. Same thing. This is one for services. Actually, in the first reading, there were a few minor changes they wanted to be made. In the process, they took the Public Utilities Commission in Frankfurt. So the deadline being established, they didn't think they could make it, so they asked us to change that. So that changed to the third, a minor change, so we don't have to affect the first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Fawcett. Do I have a motion to accept second reading ordinance 2024-18?
So move.
Member Volters made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Member Neiman. Any comments, questions, concerns regarding 2024-18?
Who owns the poles? That's always a question.
Duke?
Who owns the utility poles?
So if there's any damage to them or they need to be replaced for age or whatever, Duke Energy is responsible for those poles.
So and they carry the transmission lines and everything else for cable and all. And these franchise agreements, are they covered under this franchise agreement? The poles themselves?
Yes, poles, any equipment poles they have in the city are all covered. And they're required to keep them in good maintenance. Under the franchise agreement, will require them to be maintained. We also require them to fill our right-of-way ordinance that says that when they make repairs, they got to restore the property back to its condition that it originally was. So if it's concrete, they can't put in asphalt, they got to replace the concrete. It's pavers, they got to replace the pavers. So that's all. Our ordinance, in this ordinance, says that they have to do that, and that will be included in the franchise agreement. That's all for you guys.
Thank you.
Great question, Joe. Thank you. Any other questions, comments regarding? Member Volters made the motion, the second by Member Neiman. Roll call, please.
Member Volter,
Aye.
Member Neary,
Aye.
Member Neiman,
Aye.
Member Kelly,
Aye.
Member Wyrick.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Last on the list is the first reading of ordinance 2024-19. Ms. Klein, please.
An ordinance amending sections 7.0, 10.15, 10.16, 10.17, and 10.18 of Chapter 154 of the City of Dayton, Kentucky zoning code to regulate the operation of liquor stores, vape stores, and medical cannabis operations in the city.
So this is first reading, so I'll give you a little background on this. This was before the planning commission 4 weeks ago, and they made this recommendation to the city commission. There are two things over here. One are vape stores and liquor stores. So currently, they're allowed in our central business district as well as our neighborhood commercial district, where we already have the vape store and liquor store. We've decided internally to say that we don't think they're appropriate in central business. We have other businesses there other than vape stores, liquor stores. So we're basically saying we're taking those out of the central business district. We're eliminating those uses in that district. We're only going to allow those uses in the NC district, which is between O'Fallon and Walnut on 6th Avenue. So basically where they are now, are the only place you would be able to have these facilities. We'd heard of the liquor store looking to locate in our downtown area. We were looking at that. We don't think that's appropriate. It's not the parking really to service that. And we didn't know that. We thought there was better and higher uses for the center. So we're recommending that the text be amended to remove them from central business district and only allow them in the NC district.
So it's O'Fallon to Walnut,
That's the
and then
NC
what's
district.
in the other side?
Yeah, where the dollar store is.
Mhm.
And it goes to American Michelle.
Okay.
So that is basically, well, that's our
Neighborhood commercial.
That's the only part that a liquor store or a vape store can be?
what's that?
That's the only area that section right there. Okay.
We won't say it, like, what your parents says, you can't be within a certain distance of another liquor store or vape store, so effectively, probably,
So does this in any way affect Liquor King?
no, they're already there.
Okay.
They're already, that's what they're gonna do, it already is.
Yeah.
there. So essentially, you're gonna have those two and no more.
Mhm. Okay.
The second part of this is what regarding marijuana operations. As you know, the Woodlands City Council authorized the city to go ahead and allow these uses in the city as they are legalized now. This is medical marijuana, not recreational marijuana. state. And so we have to have zoning in place by the end of this year in order to do that. So basically what we're saying is that we would allow dispensaries in our central business district and our NC district, but the bottom line is that only a small portion of our district will be able to do that because there's a daycare center, care area, daycare center near neighbor commercial that completely wipes out that area because it's 1,000 feet within that zone, so you won't be able to put it there. There's also Angels in Training on 6th Avenue at Clay, I believe it is. So basically, 1,000 feet from that daycare goes to the city building. But you can't do any dispensaries up to basically the city building heading west. But beyond the city building, there's a little bit more in central business district that is available, which goes to Kinney on the south and to Urban Terrace on the north. And in those areas, there's residential houses, but there are some commercial offices there, commercial shops. You could put this, so there's a small area where.
Or the NC area, or the
It's
NC.
the area that they can't go because they're within 1,000
Oh.
of the other. Of the
Yeah.
area.
But if the schools or whatever, the daycares, if they went out of business, they could.
They went.
If Care Bear and Angels in Training went out of business, they could.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so with industrial zone, it's the high school that is the factor of that. And so basically, we've allowed in industrial zones cultivation, processing, testing. I think it's one of those 4 different ones that are more suitable for like an industrial area. So the school to about Boone Street is 1,000 feet. So about half of the industrial park would not be allowed to take off or operate any of those operations. But from that point, from about Boone Street onto the flood wall, the Carter Street, that would be buildings could use these operations. So anyway, there is some areas in the industrial zone where they could.
What is the thinking with that state law? That they think.
They don't want to put it away. I think they want to keep it away from the other.
I have a question. What if they open a dispensary and then 6 months later, a daycare opens up 2 doors down?
I think they'll be grandfathered in.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, just for like a zoning, once you're in and legal.
Okay.
They can be grandfathered. So I think they'll be fine.
Okay.
I think the other thing that makes it so restrictive is one dispensary per county, with the exception of Fayette and Jefferson, right?
That is
Mhm.
correct. So it's going to be probably the more popular area today, but who knows? But more likely, if we were getting business, would be one of these processing, like things that we are very good for dispensary. So anyway, that is what this allows in those zones. This actually changes our zoning to make these permitted uses in those zones. So this is the first reading we'll vote on. Happy to take questions.
Thank you, Mr. Fawcett. And again, this is a first reading, so you guys have a whole month to ask questions at city administration, city staff, and have those questions answered before you vote on it next month. Next up, orders and resolution. First on the docket, and actually the only one on the docket today, is Order Resolution 2024-24 Romeo. Ms. Klein, please.
An order resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Eaton Asphalt in the amount of $53,540.65 for a street repaving project in the city of Dayton, payable from municipal road aid funds.
So unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of municipal road aid funding. We always like to hold it back for emergencies. So we can only do really one street this year, but it's our worst street. We had our engineer prioritize all the streets in terms of efficiencies. And there's a section of Benham that is just, the road is, can't just be repaid, it's got to be reconstructed. So that's why it's so expensive to do this. So it's been from Second to Fourth in the industrial park, probably because trucks running on that road. It needs to be reconstructed and then repaved. So we're going to be doing that. In addition, as we get ready to finish phase 2 and phase 3 of the River Commons River's Edge Trail, that trail comes up from behind the Manhattan on the River Apartments. It's got to run along Manhattan Boulevard for a while. The highway department says that they want there to be striping between that trail and the traffic on Manhattan Boulevard around parking there. They don't want cars to be riding close to pedestrian bikes. So they're requiring us to put parking lines along that road all the way down to Maryville Highway. So that's also included here. Cost us money, but that's the line that we can't, they won't approve it unless we agree to do that. That makes sense?
How far did you say again? I can't hear very well.
Right past the apartments as you're heading east.
The Velo Apartments or the Tapestry?
No, the Tapestry. The road, the trail will come up behind, go behind Tapestry / Manhattan Apartments.
Right.
And come up right where the park on the bike, park on the boats right now.
Okay.
They're apparently going to move that operation to the other side of the marina eventually. But it runs right along the property line of Manhattan Apartments.
All right.
And then it turns east and runs right parallel, very parallel to the road. And so because it's so close to the road, the highway department says we have to have a buffer. They're saying that needs to be marked as parking only and not for traffic.
So these markings, would that be just the perpendicular stripes or would that be a box or?
I'm not sure we haven't decided. It will definitely be a perpendicular, there will be a parallel stripe to the trail.
Okay.
With the car.
Gotcha.
Parking. There's plenty of room. You can do parking on both sides of the street there. But, I think most people who are parking on the street are parking on the
North side. Okay.
So, parking allowed on that street, this will say that you can't drive in this area.
And as you and I discussed the other day, hopefully with that painting, we can also put a crosswalk at the Main Street steps over to the Manhattan on the River Apartments.
We're going to include that into the kids.
Thank you.
And we're also going to put one crosswalk down the bottom, Maryville, and Manhattan Boulevard. There's no crosswalk there.
Right.
Thank you for the explanation of 2024-24R. Do we have a motion to accept 2024-24R?
I'll make a motion to accept 2024-24R.
Member Kelly's made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Member Neary's made a second. So again, this opens up for any comments, questions, or concerns regarding this ordinance. Anybody like to speak? All right, roll call, please, Mrs. Klein.
Member Volter,
Aye.
Member Neary,
Aye.
Member Neiman,
Aye.
Member Kelly,
Aye.
Member Wyrick.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We're flying through the agenda tonight. I make my wife very happy that we can have dinner before 9 o'clock. Probably. We don't know.
We're not done yet.
Never know. So next up on the docket here, we have the department director's monthly report. And usually we kind of joke about who goes first, whether it's fire, police, or code. We usually go with code because ladies first is how we always do Dayton, Kentucky meetings. Ms. Patterson couldn't make it this evening. So we're gonna let Chief Atkins go first because this is Chief Atkins' last city council meeting for the city of Dayton. He's retiring after many, many years of service for the city. And I personally, on behalf of the city of Dayton, thank you for your service, sir. Your report.
I'll have my report. There's not a whole lot else to add to it. As I said, and as the mayor said, I am retiring at the end of this month. 27 years in the fire service. The last 20 plus have been here. I cannot say thank you enough for the time and the collaboration, the professionalism that we have all shared. I couldn't have done my job without you all and without the people that are in the firehouse that are going on runs right now. Captain Schaefer was named interim fire chief when I leave. He is very capable of doing the job, so he'll be here next month at the next meeting. I'm gonna bring him over to the city and take him to Bellevue as well. Just kind of most people know him, but just let him get his feet wet and see and have some conversations with you all. Beyond that, I really do not have a whole lot else to add. It's been a pleasure. 27 years. My daughter's gonna be happy I'm home on Tuesday and Wednesday nights now. So, yeah, that's about it. Really, all I have. So,
Any
Chief.
questions for the chief?
I'd just like to say thank you for everything you've done.
I appreciate it. So, again, you all made it easy for me.
Well, serving on the fire board with you over the years have been a pleasure. The job that you've done with the firehouse has been tremendous, and we're going to miss you.
I appreciate it. It's been interesting.
Thank you.
Staffing and COVID, and I took over, and then had to deal with staffing issues, and then COVID came right behind it. The guys and Jennifer, the lady, when they were there, they just kept right on going. I think that's a testament to them, and they along with you all have made my job easy. So again, I have nothing but gratitude and thanks for you all. I couldn't have without you all being the way you all are. So
Thank you.
oh, thank you.
Enjoy your retirement.
No, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So stop. No, stop.
Chief Atkins, I have some questions for you, sir.
Oh, come on, let him go home.
Hey, he's not done yet. He's still got, 3 weeks? As far as, not kicking you out the door or anything, but as far as your replacement, just to clarify that position has been posted with different entities.
Yeah, we posted it at the KLC website. We posted it with the State Fire Commission. We also posted it in Northern Kentucky. And those are probably the 3 best ways that we know of just to get it out. KLC has a good statewide reach and actually will reach beyond there. Fire Commission posts it and it's on their website. They send out email blasts every week. I will have the union actually post it on our their Facebook page as well. I don't know if did you all post it on the city website? Okay, and so I can send it to them tomorrow if they want to get it out there as well. But we are taking resumes, applications till the end of October.
Yeah, October 31st.
Yes, and then the fire board will take those, and according to the interlocal agreement, the 2 mayors and the personnel committee on the fire board will do the interviews and then make their recommendation to the full fire board, and then the fire board will make their choice based on the recommendation. But that's how.
And Captain Schaefer will be taking over the interim spot as of November 1st until the new hire is sworn in.
Actually, I mean, my last work day is the 25th. So he will probably, that following Monday, he will actually be in charge.
Okay.
So I've got a little vacation time, but yes, my last official day is the 31st, but my last work day will be the 25th. So he'll be running the show after that.
And I want to mirror what Mr. Volter said, having been on the fire board for 10 years now. You've added a calming influence, a great work environment. The guys all respect you. I think both cities highly respect you, and you'll be missed.
I appreciate it. I've had, every time I've stood up here, I did the math, like 76 months of council meetings. And I've stood up here and I believed in the guys and I believed in the department. So that's why I've been so staunch in my defense of the department, making sure we keep things moving. We're always going to be the smaller department just because of the cities, which is through no fault of anybody. And you guys, I cannot express my appreciation enough to you all and to Bellevue, because you've listened and you've never once said we won't. It's this is what we can do. This is what we can't do. And it's always been a collaboration. There's never been any bit of this adversarialism or anything like that. It's always been, the cities have just been great. And we when Jay or Mr. Fawcett and Mayor Baker took over, we had conversations. We're not always gonna get along. Nothing's personal. We're gonna do what we can. Our agendas are going to be different, but at the end of the day, it's all about taking care of the city. I hope they can say the same thing that we've done to the best of our ability. So I could not have done that without you all. So
Job well done, sir.
thank you. I appreciate it. So thanks.
Thank you, Chief. You are certainly leaving the department stronger than when you started. And it's been a pleasure to serve alongside you. Next up, kind of like Jerry Lee Lewis, you know, like follow that. What you got, Chief Halfhill?
I don't have too much. Just congratulations, Chief Atkins, on your retirement. Well deserved. Yeah, and you will be missed. Converse on a daily basis. We do have a good time. You all have my report for the month. Any questions regarding the report? You met Janine. She's our new hire. So she's already hit the ground running. So she's doing a really good job. That would be 2 women on the police force. I think we've had 2 women at one time. So it's nice to see. The only other thing I had to add was Halloween. I don't get trick-or-treaters on Lynn Drive. I think Joe can attest for that on Sargent. So we are going to, we usually do trunk or treat with the fire department in the fire bay and stuff like that. So we're going to try something different this year. We're going to be at the memorial. We'll have a cruiser up there with the lights on. Police will be handing out glow sticks and candy and stuff like that. Just we're considering the grilling out, maybe grilling out hot dogs for the kids. That was something I enjoyed when I was a little kid, getting hot dogs and soft drinks and stuff like that. So we are looking at that also, but we will be in the center of square. That might be something you might see different this year, is us with our lights on and handing out candy. So
At Monument Park.
at the Monument Park, yeah. So other than that,
Any questions, comments for Chief Halfhill? Thanks, sir. You have a good evening.
all right, thank you.
Rick Lucas is the department head for our Public Works Department. Your report, sir.
We're doing some concrete work and all the equipment that the city has bought us. We're using quite a bit of it now.
We have one of our newer hires in the department.
Mhm.
Mason, who's done concrete work last year, which we're saving some money. We've done big chunks of blocks on Park Street.
Yep,
Going to be very expensive. We did it with a private contractor or.
it's been a lot more. Yeah.
We worked on 3 city maintained sidewalks, which were trip hazards, and 2 have been done, 1 will probably be done tomorrow, so.
Yep. And then we got a couple more we're going to look at too on O'Fallon.
Right.
But no, like I said, we've been busy and the grass gave us a lot of break this year from mowing, but now it's back up. It's back out again. But other than that, I mean, we're staying busy as usual and we'll keep on going. Anybody's got any questions or anything? I'm easy going. Okay. Congratulations, Chief.
So leaves are gonna be falling here soon. Joe, look like you have my question? All right, cool. Just wanna make sure everyone gets their voice heard. Leaves are gonna be falling soon, unfortunately. But remember that if you need your leaves picked up, just send an email to info@daytonky.com or call the city building at 491-1600 and we will come pick up your leaves for you because that's service and that's what we do at Dayton. That's the last of our department reports. Mr. Fawcett, it's time for your city administrator's report, sir.
Only one thing really, I just wanted to remind folks, because it is campaign season and there's signs out there that you can't put campaign signs on city property, on the flood wall or city-owned property or other right of ways. So they are on there, we will take them down, they'll be the code enforcement office, you can get them there. This happens in every city I work in. So private property is where you want to put them, because political right, personal right to put political signs in your yards, front yards, neighbor yards. But we can't allow them on city property because we can't be looking for endorsing candidates. So if they're out there, we're going to take them down, bring them to City Hall, and you can get them there, put them in the right place.
Every election, every time. It happens, man. And you know, it's cool. It's a learning process sometimes. Any questions for City Administrator Fawcett?
Yeah, on the Dayton Pike sidewalk project, what is the status on that?
So we are, relocation work being done by utilities and relocate some of the poles. The big issue is we are going to process. Design is done. And so once we do the acquisition, we think we should be able to start construction in the spring. Not gonna happen this year.
And it's
So
been,
we're close.
we're-
The design, the state has not signed off on the design yet. Of course, it took a long time to go on down the river, but we're hopeful this will be done quicker. But
Okay.
it's done, the design's done, it's there in consideration. The only thing where it's kind of moving up a little bit is the property acquisition issue. Not gonna be a whole lot of property, but it's a little bit we have to acquire.
and this is KYTC, we're waiting for their
State private
approval.
school grant.
Okay, thank you. Because I see so many people, yeah, I see so many people walking up Dayton Pike,
Yeah.
cutting up Chateau. I see a lot of them coming down Dayton Pike from Lincoln Road, and that, especially with that dangerous curve there.
Well, we got some good news today from Rick. We've been meeting with the water district. They've had a number of water main breaks there. That's
Yeah.
an old line. Looks like they're gonna repair it and hopefully, put asphalt on the area they're repairing. And maybe we'll team up with them and be able to repay that, once we find the money to do it, but it would be great. I don't know how quickly they'll do it, but
They said it. But they got to hire.
and we're hoping to improve some of the stormwater collection
I was just gonna
process.
ask.
So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna invite Dave in. We just learned about this today. So we've been on them for 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year about it. Saying, why don't you replace it? You're coming up there every couple months, it seems like they're replacing, fixing a broken water line. So, and then didn't they have well, it's open, they may want to do their gas lines too. So it will be a construction headache for a while, but it will be, in the end, it will improve, I think, the road. So that's the plan. Ideally, if things go the way we hope, is that phase 1, phase 2, and the second phase of Dayton Pike sidewalks will all be construction projects underway next year. That's just, we're waiting on KYTC, and that's basically where it's at.
Thank you.
Excellent question, Joe. Thank you. Do we have any other questions for City Administrator Jay Fawcett? Thank you for your report, Mr. Fawcett. Audience comments. Now is the time that we open up the podium to anybody in the audience who wants to talk to administration. Go to the podium, state your name and address, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Run, Kathy, run.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy.
You. It's all right. Take your time.
My name's Kathy Volter, City of Dayton resident. Address is 3361 River Point Drive. As you all may or may not be aware, I am quite an advocate for the schools in Dayton. And I think as everybody in the city is aware, our city is only as good as what our schools are. And this brings me to what I want to discuss today, that being the things about the Amendment 2. Personally, I'll tell you, I'm voting no on it because I don't want to hurt our kids in our community. There are many signs out, as everybody sees, probably as much yeses as no. But it's hard for the schools to put their information out simply because they would get a cease and desist order from the AG because they're a public school, rather than the advocates of the amendment who can just say what they want and post it on their buildings and their schools and their churches. So that's why I'm here tonight. Before we even get started, if anybody has any questions that they have about Amendment 2, there's a website called Protect Our Schools Kentucky, if you need to get any more information. The handout I gave you is from the Pritchard Committee, which is an organization founded in 1983, and their stakeholders are citizens, business leaders, families, and students. And they're, of course, great advocates of our public schools. The number one thing that I think is important is that a study at Stanford found that 2/3 of charter schools, although this amendment is being called school choice, there already is, to an extent, school choice in the public schools because there is something that you could go to another school, A, if you paid their tuition, or B, if you were admitted without tuition, as some schools or very little would have. But the Stanford study shows that nearly 2/3 or 64% of charter schools perform no better than traditional public schools. Also, there's no evidence that the voucher programs, which basically is what this is, significantly increase test scores despite large public investments. And public schools have uniform standard, ensuring measurable improvements for all schools, for all students, whereas currently there is no accountability. If Amendment 2 were to pass, the literature out there shows, well, it just lets us talk to legislatures about what we can do to give vouchers out. It's really giving a blank check to the charter schools and the private schools. And they could just do what they wish. School choice initiatives actually strain the Kentucky education budget. As an example, in Arizona, they got vouchers and their spending increased over 270% over 11 years, practically bankrupting their education department. Florida's recent universal voucher program is estimated to cost taxpayers $4 billion, that's with a B, dollars. Kentucky's public school enrollment is projected to decrease by 6% from 22 to 2031. Rural and disadvantaged communities may lose many resources under the school choice initiative, that being the majority of the private and or charter schools, which is amazing. 52% of Kentucky's private schools are just in 3 counties: Jefferson, Louisville Way, 33%, Fayette, Lexington, 10%, and Kenton County, 10%. Those are very heavily private and or charter or parochial schools. In rural areas where there is basically none of the above, these education systems, these schools will just collapse under the funding situation. So this is something that really, really needs to be considered. Students with disabilities. All public schools are required to give an education to students with disabilities. That is not the case with charter and parochial or private schools. That is not the case. Myself, how many times have you heard a parent say, I sent my kid to X school and with a disability and was told, oh, we can't handle that. They got to go public. That's going to happen all the time. And it really, to me, will create an education system of them and us, and them being the students who don't have any push from their family or their community to go to a different school, and you will have less funding to support them. So that is basically, here's another, just 65 to 90% of voucher costs go to families already in private schools. Well, that's a bingo for those families because they will be getting money back on tuitions, and it's money taken away from the public schools. So I urge people to look up Protect Our Schools Kentucky for more information, get the facts, ask questions, and really consider how you vote on this amendment.
Maybe you know. Who started this? Because as I understand it, any child can go to a public school. They have to take them, they have to take them with special needs.
You're right.
They have to. You have to educate our children. And everyone has this right with their children. And then if you want to go to public school or Catholic school, whatever you want to do, you're going to pay tuition. Does this come from parents who want to use vouchers to offset the cost of tuition at a private school? Is that
Basically, that's my fault, my thoughts. And this was, I don't want to misspeak, but this has been brought up, this constitutional change was brought up and failed. I know at least one time, and this is like the final time to get a change on this bill. So it's down in Frankfurt. So write your legislatures.
I was at Rolling Books today. The governor was there, but they had other candidates speak, and one candidate said she wasn't sure if people understood that these other schools that might qualify for this, these charter schools have, there's no guarantee that they will take a student.
Right.
And there's no guarantee that they will keep a student. If they find the student objectionable or in any way, they can throw them out. Whereas children are guaranteed an education in public school.
Correct. 100% correct.
To gut the system and then to leave it where so many students might be vulnerable.
That's it exactly.
Frightening.
So anyhow, that is what I came to say. And if you have any questions or need any more information, feel free to let me know.
Thank you.
Thank
Any other
you.
questions for Ms. Bolter? No. Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? The podium is yours. Name, address. Mr. Judd? You've already stated your name and address once, so we don't have to repeat the wheel.
I did. Ditto then. So just three quick things from upcoming events. One of the potential candidates for, or one of the candidates to be a potential council member has organized a Meet the Candidates event next Tuesday at 6 p.m. at the VFW Hall in City here. I myself have rented out the VFW Hall for an election night party that you guys are all welcome to come to. It won't be just about the city council election. It'll be about all the election results coming in across the nation. So feel free to come and participate and eat some hot dogs and pulled pork barbecue and support the bar there as well if you are so inclined to do so. And then tomorrow night, my wife is out of town, so I'm looking for a bingo buddy if anybody would like to also join me at the VFW Hall. So let me know. No trolls allowed at the table though, at my table. They're bad luck trolls. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Judd. And the podium is still open for anybody who would like to address. Ms. Bolter? Of course you can.
You have to stand up there.
Yeah, we can't hear you if you don't talk in the microphone.
Since Joe, yes, getting mighty dark, mighty early. Where are we on the lights on Dayton Pike on the sidewalk that is so dark?
So we talked with the city engineer about that, about whether we could do solar power. He's concerned that he doesn't think that it would be strong enough for the technology today. So we'd have to probably wire if we want to do that. So we're back to square one and we just have to be able to find the money to do it. Right now we don't have it. We could try, we could try. We did buy one light, but it was so flimsy it broke before it even got installed. Just to try it but it wasn't really high quality. You're going to need something professional. So, I mean, I told him maybe we just put a few lights up there just to see how it works with the solar. And if it works, then we'll put more up. But he's concerned that he doesn't think that it will, technology is there, that it will be bright enough for what it needs to be. Brighter than what's there now. I'll call him this week and see if we order one or two, just to see how it looks, how it works, and then it works, get more.
There are no professional solar lights?
What's that?
There are no professional level solar lights?
There are, but his concern
It
is
does-
they're not gonna generate enough light, it's not enough energy that the solar will create.
Huh.
And then they'll go out at some point and, you know, but I think as long as it's lighted up until like midnight or something, it'll be better than nothing, right? Right, so, yeah, so we've been kind of looking at it and it's just a money issue. I mean, they initially planned that, have to happen for whatever reason when they built it. I guess they didn't have the money to do it, so they weren't installed, so. But they need to be done.
I think one of the couple of the things we might be able to do, which obviously would cost, you've got a pole there right at the parking lot. Now, that's just a pole to hold the other pole back. There's no electricity going to it. You could always run a line over there and put a light there.
That's true.
And then you've got 3 other poles going down Dayton Pike that are pretty dim, quite frankly, but you may be able to put some kind of a floodlight on those pointing towards the park.
Those are probably good poles, so they'd have to do it.
Right.
Which we pay for. Which that's
Right.
fine. But we could talk about that. That's
Yeah, solar lights won't work on there because it's the north side of a hill. Doesn't get enough sun. But that might be one option.
But I'll
Floodlights,
let you know.
yeah.
We'll get back on it.
Excellent question. Public safety, love it. Anybody else like to approach council at the podium? Go ahead and close that. Next is new business. Personally, I would like to bring up our new kiosk. At the corner up here of Manhattan and Berry, we have a brand new digital kiosk. It's a waypoint.
What?
What do they call those? Waypoints?
The company's called Rove ID.
I don't care about the company. I care about what it does.
Yes.
It's a map.
It's a waypoint.
Wayfinder.
So wayfind, there, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. So it's a wayfinder that tells people where the parks are, where the restaurants and shops are in our city. And it's directing people down Berry into our city. It cost us $0. And we are the very first city to have one, thanks to South Bank Partners. Big shout out to them. And every other city will, again, follow our lead when they get theirs. But until then, we be the first. So check it out. It's cool. It does some fun tech stuff. Take a selfie with it and send it to your email, all that good stuff. But it's cool. Check it out. Second and last thing I'll say is that we are having our annual senior luncheon on October 17th at the VFW Hall. So if you are of that demographic and you want me to serve you food, I'd be glad to do so and clean up after you when you leave. And I appreciate you guys for coming out. So hope to see you at the senior luncheon on October 17th at the VFW at high noon. Anybody else have any other
I have a
new
question.
business? Yeah.
Trick or treating is at what time? It's
6 to 8,
6 to 8.
October 31st.
Okay. And the thing that we're doing for the city is the police are going to be at Monument Park.
Well, we always have the trunk or treat at the municipal lot on 6th Avenue
Is that
next to
still-
the mural.
And that's still happening.
It happens every year.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Beetlejuice. So, that's a good point. So, Joe, what else is happening this month on maybe a Friday night? I know this is your game.
We have Final Friday at the end of the month.
Nope.
We have
Yes, but no.
Beetlejuice, which
Nope.
was originally scheduled for the 18th. But
But
now, in consideration of other events in town, they've moved it to the 19th, the following night. October 18th, Friday night, will be what will probably be the last game in O.W. Davis Field ever.
Yep.
After the end of 91 seasons. So the school district's doing a great job getting the word out on that, inviting alumni, et cetera. Should be a long night, should be a fun night. They're playing Newcath.
and Joe has been, how many years you been announcing, Joe?
I think it's about 10 or 11.
Yeah, so Joe knows all the kids' names and gives them all props and throws some fun color commentary in there. And we appreciate you for doing that, bud. And come on out on Friday, the 18th for final night. And the next night, come out and watch Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice, don't say it again. At Monument Park. Correct. Anybody else with any new
What
business?
time's movie?
Tristan?
Seven?
Anybody else? New business?
You thought you were done. I got 4 things, sir. 4.
Well, we almost beat the hour.
Chief Atkins, we got to stretch this out. First off, I wanted to remind everybody about the Sergeant Park project that is underway. I know a lot of people are using the park, especially in the nice weather like this, but most of the trails are closed because they have some heavy equipment moving there. The work they've done so far, it's going to look great when it's done, but I just wanted to warn everybody that Sergeant Park is under construction right now. Wanted to do I know a lot of people have friends, family, et cetera, down in Florida. We have family in Tampa. After seeing what happened with Helene last week, I think we should feel lucky here by comparison. I had asked a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of meetings ago, parking spots. Initially, I think KYTC balked at that, but I looked at Monmouth Avenue in Newport, which is US 27 and the rerouted Route 8. They've got them. So it's obviously not a violation of any ordinance or any laws. I would like to see KYTC approve for us to mark parking spaces, even with just a perpendicular line, all the way from O'Fallon to Main Street. That would I think it would resolve some parking issues because some people just leave too much room between their cars. And I think it'd be a big help with slowing down traffic, just getting that idea of narrowing the road and hopefully save a couple of cars from getting hit on 6th Avenue. So I don't know, do you need a formal request by council
Didn't we already
to?
make that? Weren't they going to look into that months ago?
No,
A traffic study
were
because of
discussing about
Lisa
urban
Clee.
areas, but there was no discussion of this.
Yeah, there was.
Was there?
Yeah, that there was a
What?
curve
Yeah, when-
and that they kept, the perception was there was a curve that kept hitting Lisa Pleat's car over and over again.
I thought we were going to put a stop sign
Yeah.
or do a steady.
That's
for-
what I
Those
thought.
two separate issues.
We discussed a stop sign.
Okay, but yeah, that's the, like for the council and mayor, I can reach out to them, see if they'll do it. But they may want us to pay the cost of it.
Understood. And then on the 4-way stop at Urban Terrace, which would be a separate request.
Now,
You
I
and
wasn't sure whether there was some discussion, I don't know if that clear direction was wanted me to pursue that or not.
That's why I wanted to bring it
Which
up
one?
tonight. Does council
10th and
feel
Urban?
no, at Irvin and 6th
Oh, okay.
to make
yeah.
that a 4-way
Okay.
stop versus a red light? But he wanted council's input on that rather than just mine.
So one of the things, if we're going to consider the parking stripes and the parking, why not try it on the block where the accidents are happening the most and see if it's effective before we do O'Fallon to Main? Let's just do that 300 block where
Yeah,
it's
isn't
the
that just the
major
one?
Right.
problem seems to be.
Yeah.
Let's try it there and see if it's effective over a period of time before we spend the money to do the
Well-
whole avenue.
Well, I especially wanted to do the central business district from McKinney to pretty much Maine because we're having events. I'm seeing less parking available. And a lot of times it's because people are parked too far apart.
I'm going to ask Chief Hatfield, how many accidents other than the one that damn near killed you, have we had on that central business district of cars getting hit? Let's just go ahead and say from City
300
City
block.
Hall to Memorial
You did kind of
Park.
report, we did the map.
300 block, but since then we've, I don't want to jinx it.
That's kind of what.
But it's been fairly good since spring. We haven't really had anything.
But between City Hall or Los Potros to Memorial Park, have there been many accidents?
No.
The worst area, if I understand. it-
Worst area is the 300 block. 300 blocks the area
Kinda
where we
turns a
usually,
little bit.
yeah, it's got a slight bend. So, yeah, I think that's all due to, the accidents are due to impairment and inattention, which is causing those accidents. So you're paying attention, obviously, you're fine, but we haven't had anything in a while.
All right, thanks for your insight.
Yep.
Like I said, it's really two separate issues that it would address going the whole 6-block length. In the CBD, the Central Business District, it would be to keep organized parking and get the ultimate out of the parking. For the 300 and even the 200 block, it would be to slow the traffic down because of the road narrowing.
So I got a question for the chief. So
Down, up and down, up and down.
if you have designated parking squares, is it a violation if someone parks off of that square?
We don't have anything in the books on that right now as far as ordinance goes.
So if I got a nice car and I want to make a buffer spot for, and I don't want to park in a tight area, I could take up 2 squares.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to, I think you just want to do the parallel lines. I don't think you want to do the perpendicular lines because you've got large trucks.
Yeah, you got cars of different shapes and sizes, so.
You're trying to design it so it's all exactly the same width. A small car may only need to have that size. So I think just the parallel lines, not perpendicular.
Well, could we have Mike Yeager make a professional suggestion on that as far as what would be the best solution? Does council agree with that?
You can ask Mike Yeager anything you like, sir.
Pardon me?
So you can ask Mike Yeager anything you like. He's on staff.
Well, no, Jay had indicated when we talked the other day that he didn't have clear direction from council on these topics.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to clarify it here.
That would be the stop sign. Whether we replace the lighting stop sign, I had kind of different views on that. So
Right.
Yeah, and
Are we?
on that, we talked about it like a traffic study for the stop
Yeah,
sign.
that's what I thought. I thought we wanted KYTC to do a traffic study. That's what I thought.
Thank you.
So I did, speaking of talking about KYTC, I did write to Bob Yeager about moving Route 8 2 blocks to Clay, from Clay to Main.
Right.
Yes.
And he took a couple weeks, I think he was on vacation, got back to me and said, we're looking into this. So Mike told me, he said, well, they may make us pave it, since they just repaved current route, they may make us pave it 2 blocks. So we'll see, but I'm waiting to hear back on that. So I will follow up with them on a traffic study, looking at changing the stoplight to a stop sign there. And also, what they would consider, you want me to also ask about considering doing parking stripes. on
Yes.
the end.
Yeah. Oh, or ask Mike
Do you want to
what,
start small and then grow it, or do you want to do the whole thing right away?
well, I would rely on Mike Yeager's professional opinion on that.
Okay.
But definitely the 300 block and hopefully the 200 block, because I think both of them are suffering from side swipes over the years. Thank you. And the last thing I had, sir, was just, 4 weeks from tonight is the election. And I'm not telling anybody who to vote for, but we really need to get out the vote in Dayton because the politicians at the county and state and federal level, they look at voter turnout percentages. And if our percentage is low, we don't get as much attention from those entities. So I encourage everybody to get out and vote 4 weeks from tonight. That's it, sir.
Polling closes at 6 p.m.
I had a question about 10th and Irvin and all the controversy of parking on the sidewalks at 10th and Irvin and what ended up happening with,
On 10.
yeah,
So I sent you a report.
Yeah.
Mike Yeager gave a report and said if you all wanted to pursue it, he would recommend taking parking off one side of the street. So I sent it to you all.
Yeah.
Waiting time to hear whether you all had any thoughts about that. So we haven't had any complaints since
right.
the issue.
It's tight, but it seems like everyone has quieted down and I don't know. Did you put that on the city page? Or for anyone who was interested, this is where we're at and maybe you would like to come speak or you would like to, the people who live there.
So his recommendation was that you move parking from one side of the street.
What side?
I believe he said the north side, didn't he?
I think he's the north side.
Their side? Okay.
So.
We sent that out.
I sent it out. I sent it out. So I'm just kind of waiting for direction from you all.
Okay.
The report, you all. Decide how you want to
Okay.
I mean, no matter what you do, you can make somebody unhappy.
Yep.
Somebody. Any other new business? All right. You have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Member Ramirez made a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? See y'all next month.
Thank you.
Right. Right. Oh.
Yeah, they may not know you can do that kind of stuff.
Really?
Are you going to that?
He was saying, yeah.
Thanks, Chief. You watching online?
Oh. Yeah, send it to me.
Good luck there.